Alrighty, hello and welcome, Travis.
Yeah,
Have you ever groped an actress?
professional one? No.
I mean, just in general, an inspiring actress.
Th- Um, she inspired me.
Yeah, she did all
To,
4 inches of it. How about have an intern blow you under the table, like while you're married?
oh,
Anything?
well, see, I've never been married,
Okay.
and also I don't believe in interns.
Did you put the drugs in the coffee? That's my Bill Cosby
No,
impression.
I don't like coffee.
But you never put the drugs in her coffee and got the biggity biggity boom.
No, because I don't like coffee.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, look. Okay, see, here's the thing. Roofies don't work. I took like four of them one night, and I didn't get laid. So,
Not that you remember.
yeah,
Frankie, on the other hand, had a great time with Uranus.
that's a weird name for a lady.
Oh my goodness. All I know is I'm glad people are finally starting to wake up to the bullshit that's going on out there. And at the same time, I want to be like, hey, keep in mind, that's the person that's groping you. And I'm talking about like the young male actors in Hollywood that's fucked up 20 years. I already dropped the F bomb. Sorry. That screwed up 20 some years ago. And it's
Nailed
like,
it.
and they're like they're trying to nail this guy to the wall, and I'm just like, he's clearly drunk and or high. I mean, clearly, can you not tell? Like
But that
this.
does that really excuse him for his actions, though?
No, it 100% does not. However, when you are inebriated, you make poor decisions, and
Yeah, like
if
the time I hit on those female cops and almost got tased.
or that time you drank all those roofies and Frankie did a number on your anus. but
Wasn't a mistake.
I don't know. I guess I've been seeing an awful lot of like Billy and Susan get wasted and have sex, and then Susan decides it's rape the next day because she couldn't decide to
Mhm.
have sex. But it's like, but at the same time, like he was also wasted, so he couldn't decide to have sex either. So aren't they both rapists?
Yeah, but that's not how double standards work.
Yeah. So it irritates me. All I can tell you is moderation, which is something that I think Travis has finally learned, and don't put
No,
your thing in that place without permission.
I still don't know moderation. I just know to not do it unless moderation is zero. In which
I'm gonna open
case,
all these packs. Rah!
well, see, that's why I only take like $20 with me to the store because otherwise I'd be like, yeah, I got $500 in my account. Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right, this is episode 103, opening gold of Two Trolls and a Brew. I'm Samus, he's Travis. Hello.
Hi.
It's been a weird news week, and it's got me riled up. I don't know. These things, they eat at my heartstrings. But Huey Jensen won Worlds. That's great. Do you have anything you want to add on
Yeah, that's the
that,
thing that
or
happened. I guess.
yeah, it
I
definitely
didn't
did.
know. I didn't pay attention to what was happening.
I got to watch a little bit. I think on Friday, just like one or two matches, and then
Mm-hmm.
I just I got busy. It was a crap weekend. My little Chihuahua passed away, um, which was pretty weird.
Was that
But
the big one that always sounded like it was dying?
my little Chihuahua, yes, yeah, she was trying to use the restroom, and we took her to the vet, thinking that the vet would tell us that we should put her down, and instead he's like, "Oh, well, she's got liquid building up in her heart, so we can fix that. Like, here's a $5 drug, and then here's another $5 drug, and then you come back tomorrow, and I'll give her a $50 drug." And like
Okay. Okay.
we went, okay, let's try the $5 drug, and they gave her the $5 drug, and she like immediately recovered. Like the next day was way better, and I was just like, okay, maybe we can give her another 6 months, a year, whatever. And so we took her back and gave her the other two drugs, and That was on Tuesday, and by Saturday evening, she had passed. So, I know. I'll put a little picture up on the website. She was adorable. She was a really great dog. But yes, she did sound like she was dying when she pooed for the last 3 months or so.
Well, just when she was breathing.
No,
or Bart.
That was her trying to poo. Is the only time that she did that, where she sounded like a chicken.
But she did that inside.
She has some papers that she used to be able to use because she didn't go outside very well because she was old.
Okay.
She's 14. That's like 98 in dog years.
That's way more than that.
Don't question my math. 98.
What's 7 times some other number?
7 times 14.
Let's go 7 times 10 is 70 times 4 is... Oh, yeah, that is 98.
Migraines. Boop. All right.
Yeah. You can't spell for shit, but you know how to math.
Anyway, subtitle this week, show chose. Subtitle this week, show note challenges. I will get the words in the proper order with the biggity boost. Troll cards this week. I'm picking OPEC's a different thing. OPEC's oil of Nation of Oil something or other. Otepec, Huntmaster. And Travis, you have chosen?
It's either... I think it's Marionette Master. I'm not sure if I've probably done it already, but it's again.
We've definitely talked about it a couple of times. It's I know both of us are like brewing around it really heavily this week. So I think we'll talk about that pretty soon. I think we'll jump to mine and we'll kind of get in depth on that, and then we'll get into yours because I think it's going to spawn a really large series of conversation.
So before we get into the troll cards,
yeah,
opening gold is actually from my draft and sealed pool this week.
Okay, did you get a bunch of dollars or did you open gold cards?
Yes, to both of those things.
Nice.
So,
I assume gods then. Scarab god.
No.
Ninja pirate thing that steals your crap.
No.
I don't know what else is worth any money in these sets.
So for the sealed pool, I opened up. So I had 2 packs that I could buy because I did horrible last week.
Oh, okay.
And I opened up Vraska.
Okay.
And then a foil Tishana, which she's a 7-drop. When she comes in, you draw cards equal number of creatures you control.
I really like her. I got one for one of my sealeds.
Yeah, she is insane. So I opened those 2, and then we drafted on Monday night, and I opened up another Vraska.
Nice.
Yeah.
You need to send me some of these Vraskas, because isn't that like a play set for you? You're never going to cast that many.
No, it's just the 2. I already opened 2 Huatis or Hotel Huati.
Oh, the other one, the dragon one.
I'm a call her Susan.
I'm not big on these Aztec names either, but I think they're awesome. I did a lot of reading right around 2011 about the Aztec culture and stuff. So, yeah. Why is that funny?
It was a great sense. I did a lot of reading in 2011, and then there's the rest of the story.
You know why, right? You remember why? Because the Aztec calendar ended in 2012.
Yeah, one of them.
And we ended right. Well, exactly. And we ended the ice ice calendar. So for those of you who don't know, the Aztec calendar is broken into like 5,412 years cycles or some S, and they each have a theme that seems to like follow along with the overall adjustment of that time frame. So we're in ice, right? Because the theory is that we're in the middle of an ice age, as they kind of came to power and they knew that it was ending. And in 2012, we actually switched to the new calendar, which ironically is the calendar of fire, which some people actually believe probably means that the world's going to get hot. I'm sorry, that's a big revolution to me. What are you talking about?
Why?
A civilization 10,000 years old knew that it was going to get hot starting in 2012? Oh, global warming. Eat a dick. So, yeah, I did a lot of reading about their culture, but I never knew how to pronounce these things.
Yeah.
So anyway, my troll card this week is the Huntmaster, the O Patek. God, I hope that's anywhere near right. Huntmaster, and that is the dinosaur, the red dinosaur helper.
Yes.
Lowers the
hasten.
Yeah, and hasten. Which I think is probably the best one of the three. So you have the white one that's an O3 that just reduces the mana cost. You have a green one that taps for mana, but it becomes +2/+2 if you have a dinosaur. And then you have this one that basically just enables the dinosaurs like crazy. You know, cast it a turn earlier and give it haste. Pretty insane. So my initial pack, my rare was meh. I don't remember what it was even. But my uncommons were the walk the plank, it, and another black removal spell.
Okay.
And then like my like it was a really strong black pack. Like I remember thinking at the time that there's like 4 first pickable black cards in the pack. And I was like, okay, so what I really want to do is to not be anywhere near black to be fighting, because I'm going to ship all the if I take walk the plank, which it was between walk the plank and this guy, and I was just like, I don't want to fight black in pack 2. I'd rather just be able to take dinosaurs, right? Like any junk dinosaurs should come through, especially if these two guys are deep in black, the two next people. So I ship it. So I guess first of all, before I move on, does that seem right to you? Again, my rare was crap.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Okay. Well, I was asking, like, no, the removal spell is just so good, just take it.
Well, it depends on what you want to do, because there's some times where I'm like, I'm looking at cards, I'm like, man, I don't want to do this today. So I just pass good cards just because I want to do something stupid.
Yeah, I did. So 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that I wanted to force some sort of black-blue archetype. This week, I did kind of go in with the idea that I wanted to play dinosaurs and try it. But yeah. I was willing to move around. They could have very easily colored my decision-making process. But I feel like there's some value to be had with the idea of putting somebody else in the color and knowing that they're in it and they're away from what you want to do.
Right.
Especially when, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, so the guy next to me who also has a predilection, is that the right word? Like a preference. He does prefer to play black, specifically black-blue, and those are the two colors I wanted to be away from. And then the guy who was 2 seats down also really likes removal spells and is willing to kind of do whatever crazy shenanigans he needs to get into it. So again, I was thinking if I could seed both of these guys into not dinosaurs, then I could just run the table with dinosaurs, which I tried to do. However, it turned out that Joel, who was sitting, I think, 3 seats up from me, also is taking dinosaurs. So I ended up with the top end dinosaurs. Like I took every 3/4 flyer for 5. I think I had 3 or 4 of them. I had, what was some of the other dinosaurs I had? I don't have my deck in front of me like I usually do. I had like the butt fight dinosaur. I had I don't know. I had a bunch of dinosaurs at the end of the day, and I kept passing like the 2-1 haste guys, and like the 1-1 when it takes damage, it turns into a 3-3, and I kept passing those things, thinking they'd come back around, because in a void they're not really great, you know. But he was grabbing them, thinking, "Oh, well, eventually I'll get a big dinosaur." But I ate every big dinosaur at the table essentially, so we kind of got to the point we played each other third or fourth round, somewhere in there. And if I could live to turn 4 or 5, I just won, because I could just play everything was bigger than anything he had.
Right.
And if he got a good draw, he could knock me down to like 4 by turn 4, and then try to suicide me with like munitions or something. So they were good games. I did win in 3, but I don't know, it was a rough draft. It was a very rough draft, and I didn't do very good. I somewhere in the middle of the pack at 2-2, I believe. So not my best record with dinosaurs. Okay. I want to know what you're doing with Marionette Master. Because say what?
Drafting in general with this set, it's really hard to read. Everybody seems to be wanting to go in some sort of deck. Yeah. Obviously, there's not enough cards for store. The tribes shift so much.
Yeah, I can see that. Like for example, the guy who I was passing the black cards to, who was 2 players up or downstream from me, he grabbed like a good merfolk and was just like, I'm just going to take every merfolk that I see, and he ended up 0-2 drop. Force tribe, because some other guy who was just taking high quality cards, I think Sean, just like took every good card that he saw. So if there was a good merfolk, he didn't care if it was a merfolk, a dinosaur, whatever, and he was just like, I'll just make the mana work eventually.
Right.
And I don't think he did super well either. I don't actually know who did well that tournament, to be fair. But yeah, it's a weird table. And in retrospect, once again, at our shop, I noticed that blue was completely underdrafted. And I don't want to say I'm going to try to go in and force X archetype, because I don't want to do that. But somewhere in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a window where I can just be like, all right, blue's wide open. I'm just going to take blue cards and just see how it goes. I have the feeling it's probably okay, especially depending on which early picks you kind of grab. Because like there were not necessarily first quality picks coming around late, but I'm trying to think what all I saw pack 2, for example, in blue. There was the Mind Control Forever spell. There was Air Elementals going by late. The Explore Pirates were going by late. Like, just nobody wanted to be blue, which really kind of made me go, what the heck is people drafting? Like, I'm eating every dinosaur at the table. So, I mean, this guy's clearly in black, but what else is going on? So I don't know. I don't get it. I do want to give a quick shout out to Stormfleet Pyromancer. It's a little 5 mana. If you triggered raid, it enters the battlefield, it shocks something. That guy was really good for me. I sideboarded him in a lot. I took the do 4 damage for 5 mana instant. I think I had 2 of them. I often just switched him out for that guy in my matchups. Having a blocker and a shock was often good enough to lose the instant speed and the extra 2 damage. So anyway, I asked you about Marinette Master and what you got going on. I know that a conversation was started with Conley Woods on Twitter, kind of talking about your thing, my thing, his thing. We all whipped him out, took pictures.
So I was just doing a what do you call it? Grixis. And I was like, I've seen his Esper list, and it's cool and everything. I'm just not a big fan of Esper. It just seems too boring for me. But no, my Grixis list, splashing red for strike and right.
Mm-hmm.
They're good removal spells, but they're good removal spells and they're hard to kill. But for the most part, it's just a blue-black control list. Spirits and Revel in Riches, and I have Treasure Map in mine. Like, I don't know if you have... I can't remember if his has Treasure Map or not, but it did a lot of work.
So I also was brewing around Grixis at first, using Unlicensed Disintegration, using Mama.
Oh, yeah. That card.
I wanted to run. I'm trying to think what's the other red cards I had. I want to have access to sweepers out of the board.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do. There was another big card. I can't remember what. Like a Locust God, I think I had in the list. Oh, I wanted to do a Bolus in the list. And I played with it and did some play testing. It was okay. It wasn't great. I kind of struggled with some things. And I've been looking at Conley's Esper list, and I think I'm going to switch closer to what he has. Because I don't know how much it matters in his point of view, but in my playtesting so far, there's been a lot of like weenie low to the ground decks. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, something like a Fumigate on 5 to kill 4, 5, 6 creatures and give you 4, 5, 6 life back is kind of what I felt the deck needed.
Yeah.
But I have another card in mind that could just go in the Grixis version that may also be okay. And I wanted to ask you what you thought.
Okay.
Well, I guess we just do it now. I'm thinking about doing... it's one of those split cards, and now I'm trying to think what it is. It gives -2/-2 to everything, and then the other side is like 6 mana, draw 2 cards. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, bollocks. Now I'm going to have to look.
Anyways, while you're looking...
Yeah, I was just going to say they're an Omnicat block, right?
The counter thing?
Probably. All of those dual spell things.
Yeah, they're an Omnicat block.
Okay.
So
I want to say Ragnariches, maybe?
So what I was thinking with mine, and actually what I did do, obviously I won because I had Revel in Riches out, but I didn't win with the card. And in fact, my opponents tried to counter it or get rid of it as soon as possible because they know I like stupid stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So to Riches or Revel in Riches, just because they knew that I was going to win with it. But they didn't expect on that first game that I had Marionette Master. And like I played it, and he looks at it, and he picks it up, and he looks at me, he goes, I just lose, don't I? I'm like, what's your life at? He goes, I'm at 24. I'm like, okay. I have 6 artifacts in play that I can sacrifice for 0 mana. And I'm making him a 4-drop. He does the math. He's like, yeah, all right, let's go to the next game.
Okay. Well, I think to be fair, I think I'm combining two cards. Rag to Riches gives them -2/-2 till end of turn, and then Riches is 7 mana. Each opponent chooses a creature, and I get control of that creature.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm combining the blue one that says get a land, or sorry, the green one. Blue one.
Yeah, Spring Mind and Rag to
Yeah.
Riches. You're putting them together.
Yeah.
No, this card's
So
great.
rags to mind. That's what I want. Rags
Yep.
to mind. That's how my brain works, though. The dyslexia. So yeah, I'm thinking about putting one of those in the 75.
Yeah.
Because the decks that I've been playing and the decks I've been playtesting against, an early rags would be really good, and then by turn 7, you should probably be able to wipe again at some point and be able to like snag their god with the riches. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't actually know what the meta is going to be like, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it'll be good.
Well, I just know that I get to play with all the lands coming into play untapped usually. It just makes me happy on the inside.
Yeah, that's really strong. Because you have what, two of the buddy check land things.
Yep.
So that just lets you run islands and mountains and swamps or whatever, and basically just play your dual lands for free. Seems strong. I mean,
and I even have the tri-land from Hour.
Right.
And that one actually games, the Crypt of the Eternals.
Right.
Yeah, because that one actually
maybe.
Well, no, I had it main, and I had it in my deck, and there was 2 games where it's like he got me down to 3, and then I played the Crypt going up to 4, and he's like, well, I have this lightning strike, and I'm like, oh, you just luck of the draw from me.
It's a good thing you didn't go ahead and cast it in response to that trigger then, huh?
Well, no, he like top decked it.
Oh. Well, yeah. He still put you to 1. It's okay. Maybe you'll get there next turn.
Nah, he wouldn't.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, I don't know. I really like the Grixis version. I really like the Esper version. The thing I like about both versions is you can run Prismatic Prism. Did I get it right? You draw a card, filter. I think that's good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, I don't know. I think I've warmed up to Hidden Stockpile. I think it's just a powerful enough card, especially with something like treasures that you're generating early. I just think it's good. It's kind of like having 8. No, it literally is like having 8 treasure maps in your deck. Except instead of turning over and making three treasures, I'm trying not to say clues when I think about it. Instead of turning over and making a bunch of treasures, instead you make a bunch of 1/1s that you block and then sacrifice with to just keep going. So, yeah, I don't know. I do like the Esper version a lot. I don't think his 75 is what I will play exactly, but I think a lot of what he's working with is along the right lines. But yeah, I want to experiment with Rags to Riches this week, which is going to be tough because Saturday is the PPTQ that I'll potentially most likely play in if I can decide to motivate myself to go that far. It is once again double PPTQ time of the year, and so our friends at Goblin Games in Manhattan and us at the arena are back-to-backing PPTQs this weekend, both standard. And I usually try to play the one in Manhattan and then judge the one in Salina. And it's too soon. This is too early in the metagame for me to make a decision for a deck like that. Do you feel like you're ready with a deck for like a PPTQ or something where you're going to put $25 down on the table and be like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get my $25 worth.
Well, I mean, yeah, because the deck that I built, I mean, it's pretty solid. Like because I have a bunch of dual lands that I can just cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I have plenty of land draw and just fixing and all of the removal spell that you'll ever not need, and you just win out of nowhere. So I'm pretty confident in the Grixis deck. That I want to try out though, and actually have this just sitting in front of me right now, is Black White Vampires.
Is it the token list or is it the just general vampire list?
There's the token list.
Yes. Again, Sean is working on like a black white vampire ish token deck, and it looks okay. If you can get a swarm going, it's really difficult to beat. Again, if you can just combo off with a Marionette Master for like 20 some life, though, it's usually good enough.
I didn't know that there was a token list. I don't know. I just have a bunch of creatures.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I guess there's cards that do tokens, but
I'm gonna do a quick aside real fast. Bilal has joined the chat, wanting to know when we started. A few minutes ago, not too long. We're into the main body of the thing. But I want to mention, because Bilal's here, he is the reason that the subtitle is Show Note Challenges this week.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I've been letting the viewers or listeners jump in with what we're calling the Troll Hotties, or what I'm calling the Troll Hotties of the week. And this week it was Bilal, and Bilal wanted to do, what's that Muslim adult star, film star actress, Maya something? Okay, he's shrugging his shoulders. Maya something. And I'm like, okay, whatever you want. Then I start researching who he's talking about, and I figure out who he's talking about. And
okay.
So it took me quite a while to find animated GIFs/GIFs that are PG-13 for the show notes.
That's kind of a challenge.
That was hard. I'm trying to think of another, like, who's another famous adult film actress? That one blonde girl.
I'm horrible with names.
Jameson?
Gee, wow, talk about like 90s, man.
That's the only one I know. I've been married for 18, 19 years, dude. What do I need? So yeah, it'd be like, hey, go find animated GIFs of her. Like, who knows what you're gonna find?
Right.
But yeah, we got it worked out, and this week I think Steve has picked already, and it is that cute little redhead nerd. I know her name, but I can't think of it right now.
Felicia Day.
Felicia Day, that's the one. So hopefully we can find some good images of her that are appropriate for the PG-13-ness of the site.
Oh yeah, we can.
I assume so. That was the thing. But I just wanted to, why he's in there. He says you're welcome. Thanks. So now all of a sudden I was telling my wife, I'm like, we were driving in the car. I'm like, hey Remy, do you know who this Maya Kakafka or whatever her name is? I don't know how to pronounce it. And he's like, who are you talking about? I'm like, good answer, son. Good answer. Because I figured if he knew, he would have to correct me on how to say her name.
Right.
Right? Because that's who he is. That's the kind of the person he is. He's like, you're saying that stupid, old man. This is the correct way to say it. Right? So I figured I could like catch him. But he had no idea who she was. So Tanya's like, why do you care? And I'm like, and I explained the story to her. So I'm like, if you decide to jump on my browser and all of a sudden you see all this pornography on my browser history that you've never noticed before, that would be why. So, yeah. Thanks, Bilal. I appreciate you. You're not allowed to pick anymore. Never again. Oh, okay. So, back to the PP2 season. I don't know. It just seems early to me. It seems too soon. I know it's my fault. Well, I definitely needed to spend more time brewing beforehand, but I like waiting until I have cards in my hands before I do a lot of my brewing. But I definitely think that we went ahead and we picked such an early season, so the standard would be fresh, because our standard tournaments have not had a great turnout for the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. Standard seemed, but we just had the big rotation, everything's shooken up. And so now it feels like it's way too quick to be doing a major, I'm air quoting major, PPTQs are not major, but they're major to me, tournaments. So I don't know. I was just curious what your thoughts on that particular matter could be. Let's see, what else?
I say do what you want. If you want to throw $25 away, do it.
Well, I'm not worried about that because I've got a bunch of store credit with that particular shop, so it seems fine. The hardest part for me now is going to be, can I survive getting to the shop? So, sorry, catching up with the chat. Bill House says I liked it. I didn't say I didn't think it was a good time. I just thought it was challenging. But yeah, the hardest part is going to be getting to the shop. Migraines have been weird with the new treatment. So, okay, let's move into something else. We have a deck list sent to us by one of our supporters, Nathan. And if it ever decides to actually show up on the screen, I will go over it. Nothing?
Nope.
All right. Something.
But at least your screen is frozen.
Nice. That's definitely what we're looking for here.
Well, you moved.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this full screen and try this. I think this worked last time. All right. Well, never mind. I guess we're gonna have to have a word picture. Yay. So Nathan has titled this "The Sultai God." So I assume it's built around Scarab Gods. Yep, there's 3 Scarab Gods. So this list consists of 4 Glint Sleeve Siphoners. That's the 2/1 Menace that pretends to be a Bob. Long Tusk Cub, which is the 2-mana 2/2 that grows. Death Gorge Scavenger, which is like a pseudo Kitchen Finks. Rogue Refiner, draw a card, make some energy guy. Blistering Hydra, hard to kill, 4/3. The Scarab God, which we just talked about. 4 Tomb with Ethers, 4 Fatal Push, 3 Glimmer of Genius, 2 Vraska's Contempt, and a pretty reasonable mana base. I like a lot of things with this particular deck. The thing I don't think I like is I want to replace some number of Glimmer of Geniuses with Champion of Wits. Rivington has started playing Champion of Wits all over the place. Yeah. In the various deck lists that he's playing. And it has just seemed absolutely insane every single time he plays it. You remember how last week we kind of talked about this potential Sultai or green-blue Panharmonicon deck? Did we talk about the stream? I thought so. So we kind of threw it together, just kind of experimenting, and it seems very good. If anything, I kind of want to splash red now just to put the Locust God in it. Because he draws so many cards sometimes, like just the ability to make these army of 1/1 hasters. He could attack someone for 6, 12 easily in a turn from just the haste flyers alone. some turns. Yeah. Like I saw him draw 8 cards on me one game we practiced. Or play tested. It just was absolutely bonkers. So if it was possible to throw in like even one Locust God or 2 Locust Gods, it feels like it would be insane. And I'm just really high on Champion of Wits right now. That card it seems to do all the things you want it to do. But the rest of this list I think is good. These are all high quality cards that do a lot of work. I think Vraska's Contempt is going to be okay because of the gods.
Well, the gods and the planeswalkers.
Right. Well, and that's part of the reason I'm kind of tempted to run whatever the one is that goes and searches the library. It's like an instant. Let me find it. It's like Deicide, but for creatures. Or creatures in... It's Deicide if it's a god. There we go.
Okay.
I'll find the name in a second.
Yeah, the 4-drop.
Right. Instant black on the Kedbok Go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't know the name.
Hour of Glory. It just hits a creature, doesn't hit Planeswalker. But because I think the creatures have been kind of... So like in this deck, right? Blistering the Hydra and Scarab God are the only 2 threats in this deck. Like everything else are kind of... I mean, they get some work done. They can kill you if you're not ready, but most of your removal in this deck will take care of it. Right? Where the Scarab God, being able to just be like, boom, kill your Scarab God when you play it on turn 5. Normally you're not worried about it because it just comes back to your hand. But if you're just like, boom, kill it, and let's look through your deck and get rid of it, that's a pretty big loss.
Doesn't it only disrupt the hand?
Say what?
Doesn't it only disrupt the hand?
Oh, maybe it is just the hand. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals his or her hand and exiles all cards from it with the same name. That's dumb. I thought it did library too. Never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. This card's terrible. I take it all back. Play Vraska's Contempt. Hey, I'm man enough to admit when I'm stupid. That was it.
Right.
Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Probably never happen again. Until
Doubt
later. Until later.
Until about 10 minutes from now.
Exactly. I don't know. That's all I have this week, really. What else you want to talk about? How long have we been going? I didn't start a timer because I'm good at my job.
Right.
I did tweet. You don't have anything?
No. I think we've covered everything.
All right. Well, if we covered everything, we covered everything. I do want to say real fast, if you enjoy the stream and you would like to help support it, Sub-Timber on Twitch has been extended. So through October 18th, which is next week, currently at the time of this recording, subs are half price, and the streamer gets 100% of the proceeds. So if you wanted to jump in and sub for a month, that would be $2.50. 100% of that will go to the stream here. So that's a pretty great way to help us out. And the more that grows, the more likely it is that I'll be able to move into like Magic Online or a Magic Arena when it comes out, and stream that. As it is, I just got a new game donated to me last night, and you're gonna love this.
Okay.
It's called Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. So I'm going to do a video series and start streaming. Maybe not stream it a lot, but I will be playing it. Do you know anything about this game?
No.
All right, so let me get through the review here because I think it's really funny. I read it on my on my phone earlier. Here we go. Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator, is a game where you play as a dad and your goal is to meet and romance other hot dads. You and your daughter have just moved into sleepy seaside town of Maple Bay, only to discover that everyone in your neighborhood is a single dateable dad. Will you go out with teacher dad, goth dad, bad dad, or any of the other cool dads in this game? With mini games, side quests, and a variety of paths and endings, Dream Daddy, a dad's dating simulator, is this year's most anticipated dad-based game. Features 7 dateable dads, a dad character creator, multiple endings per dad, dad-themed mini and micro games throughout each date path, mini dad puns, like to the point where it made us all uncomfortable. So there you go. That's upcoming at twitch.tv/SamusGarobo and youtube.com/SamusGarobo. If anything, if this game actually turns out to be a lot of fun, this I think is a game that I can pull Travis in and be like, okay, Travis, you're helping me run this particular playthrough of Dad Simulator.
You're helping me date dudes.
That's right. Help me figure out the right thing to say to Billy Bob over here, so he'll come home with me tonight. Oh man. Anyway, you can check out that and even more, samusgrobo.com. You can find us at iTunes if you can. Jump over there, give us a review. It really does help us out. You can send us an email, the number 2 trolls@gmail.com. Just like Nathan did when it came down to his deck list, and like so many others have in the past. And of course, you can follow us at Twitter, twitter.com/turtlepower319, or twitter.com/SamusGarobo. Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy Christmas. This has been one of those days. I just cannot put the words in the right order. It's like the wrong syllable on the incorrect elibus. Oh Lord.
You want to run that awful mess by again?
It's where you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong elable.
Emphasis on the wrong syllable?
Something like that. Pick one. Just because I did it on different syllables than you did doesn't mean it's any more wrong.
Well, you just left out certain parts of the word.
That's fine. It seems like the right thing to do.
God damn it.
Troll on, everybody.
Troll on. Jesus. You're a mess.
Samus. Jesus is a different guy with a beard.
Samus?
Samus. Toots.